Do past regrets haunt your relationships, creating an invisible barrier? Ben knew that feeling all too well, his past guilt overshadowing every new connection. But what happens when vulnerability becomes his only escape? This story reveals how confronting your deepest burdens can transform them into hope, proving that an empty space can truly welcome a brighter future. Ben had always found dating difficult, a minefield of unspoken expectations and potential pitfalls. But tonight, as he waited at the coffee shop, a flicker of anticipation sparked within him. When Clara walked in, her presence filled the room with warmth, and Ben felt a sense of hope he hadn't experienced in a long time. They settled into a cozy corner bathed in the gentle glow of the evening light, the cafe humming softly around them. As they talked, Ben found himself relaxing, enjoying the easy flow of their conversation and Clara's genuine laughter. Clara recounted a simple story of a weekend getaway with an ex-boyfriend, and an invisible weight crashed down on Ben's chest. His mind flooded with memories of past arguments and missed opportunities, the guilt a relentless force pulling him under. He wasn't really listening to Clara anymore. The weight of his past was sitting heavily between them. Ben's posture stiffened, and he grew quiet, retreating into himself, the joy of the evening fading away. He began to apologize repeatedly for the smallest things, his anxiety bubbling to the surface. Clara, noticing the shift, gently reached out and touched his hand, asking, "Hey, you just went somewhere else. Is everything okay?" His heart pounded as panic rose, the temptation to hide behind a mask of calm almost overwhelming. But the weight of his guilt and the anxiety of hiding it felt suffocating, pushing him to be brave. "I'm sorry," he began, his voice shaky and uneven. "My last breakup was really hard. I carry a lot of guilt about how I handled things. Sometimes it bleeds through, even when I don't want it to," he confessed, his vulnerability exposed. The silence stretched long, heavy with unspoken fears, as Ben braced himself for rejection. But instead, Clara gave a small understanding nod and smiled gently, her eyes filled with compassion. "That sounds heavy," she said quietly. "Thank you for telling me," her words a lifeline in turbulent waters. Her acceptance was like a warm embrace, a significant shift inside him, a lifting of the invisible weight. The guilt was still there, but by speaking it aloud, he'd separated it from the present moment. The ghost of the past was no longer occupying the space between them, but hovering outside. The chair beside him wasn't empty, but it wasn't filled with regrets either. It was waiting for something new. Ben smiled, feeling the warmth of hope bloom within him for the first time in a long while. And with Clara sitting beside him, the future suddenly seemed a little less daunting. They continued to talk, the conversation flowing easily once more, filled with genuine interest and laughter. As the evening drew to a close, Ben walked Clara to her car, feeling a lightness he hadn't experienced in years. He watched as she drove away, a sense of gratitude washing over him, grateful for her understanding and kindness. As he walked back to the coffee shop, Ben realized that vulnerability wasn't a weakness, but a strength. By acknowledging his past, he had opened the door to a future filled with possibility and hope. The empty chair beside him was no longer a reminder of his regrets, but a symbol of his readiness to embrace the new. Ben smiled, knowing that he was ready to fill that chair with love, understanding, and a newfound sense of peace.